Yes, they work. How do we know? Because a study says so. Well, these days we hear the word study bandied about with great frequency. Whenever there's an argument of the scientific variety, both sides muster studies to try to prove their point. The problem is that there are so many studies published these days. There are 5 studies that come out roughly every minute of every single day, which is just astounding. And there's a broad spectrum of studies. Some are very good, some are very bad, many are mediocre. How do we know what to make of these? Unfortunately, these days, just about anything can get published. There are the so-called predatory journals or the pay-for-play journals that will publish almost anything. And then we have the really reputable journals like the New England Journal of Medicine, which reject many of the papers that are submitted and publish only what they deem to be the best ones. Because of this wide spectrum of studies available, scientists rely a great deal on what we call the meta-analysis. This is when researchers go out and find all the studies they can about a specific topic, select the best ones, and pool the information to see what they can glean. And this is just what has happened now. In the British Medical Journal, a study that looked at health measures like mask wearing, social distancing, and hand washing to try to prevent COVID-19 infections. And first they assembled about 72 studies, but only 8 of these merited inclusion in the meta-analysis because they were of high enough quality. And while the results were inconsistent, what was really noteworthy is that all 8 of the studies found that hand washing, mask wearing, and social distancing reduced the incidence of infection by at least 50%. It was not possible to tease out whether or not hand washing worked independently of masking because most people who wore masks were also the ones who washed their hands often and who exercised social distancing. But the important point to take home here is that what we have been told all along about wearing masks, washing hands, and social distancing can go a long way in cutting down infections. But I suspect that even though this was published in a major journal, highly respected, the British Medical Journal, it is not going to convince the anti-mask crowd to go on and don their masks. And that, for today, is our cup of joe.